G'day everyone, here we are back in the hothouse. We're going to have a look at this plant. It's a Euphorbia. I'm not going to pronounce the name because I'm going to butcher it if I try to pronounce it. So I'll leave the name down below. You'll see it on the heading when it comes up. But this plant is fairly old. It's about, how can you say, 16 years old, and it comes from Madagascar. It's a Caudex form. As you can see, the base of the trunk there. Normally, if you want to show these off a bit, you tend to raise them out of the soils to show the Caudex. And yeah, this is an old plant. At first it was slow in growing, but once it got established, it's kicked off. It's an unusual plant. It's seems to grow right through the year, more so during the spring months and summer in the growing season, but it seems to grow during the winter time because I suppose in the environment it is within the hothouse. It doesn't get below 0 in the hothouse. It might get down to 2 degrees Celsius, but yeah, it's fairly hardy. I wouldn't put it outside just in case it gets too cold for it. This plant, I actually have got seeds from this plant. When was it? A few years ago, and as you can see, it's in flower. This plant here is you could say unisex. It's male and female. As you can see, this flower here is the male side of it. And this one here is the female side of it. And I've actually pollinated this by hand. I actually use a little paintbrush like this, and what I normally do is just go into there and onto that. And what I normally do, I've got other plants and I cross-pollinate with this from the same species, so I'm not mixing the species with this plant. And I have got seeds. As you can see, there's a seed pod there. I think this one here definitely has got seeds. Yes, it's got 3. Has this? No, they haven't. No. I have to go around and pollinate those. But yeah, I've been playing around with this plant, trying to get it to seed for quite a while. But yeah, the soil is very porous, and if you can see, I'll just move some of the rock away. You can see that Caudex stem down the very bottom. It's fairly large. They're fairly easy to grow. The best time to grow them is when the seeds are ripe. Once they pop, you should actually propagate them straight away for germination, for 100% germination, because I've noticed if I've kept these for a while, you've got a slim chance of them coming up. But I've done pretty well. As you can see on the side of it, there's a younger plant, seedling off this plant. This plant here is about, you could say about 3 years old, and it's flowering, as you can see. And it all depends, the conditions. This one here, it might need a bit of water, or maybe it's just getting a bit too much sunlight, because in the hothouse it's got shade cloth over the top, which is around about 70%, and on the ends, because my hothouse is actually facing north and south, so the sun's actually coming from the east on the ends and ending off in west on the other end of the hothouse, and that's where most of the sunlight's coming through. And these plants are actually situated on the west side of the hothouse, and I'm thinking, just by looking at the leaves, that they might be just getting a bit too much sun, where this plant here, the mature plant, has getting less, because where it's situated, it's up a lot higher, and it's the sun is actually getting filtrated. And I've actually got a few of these. I'll just bring them out. Oh, yeah, that's another one. These both grew at the same time, as you can see, the flowers they've got there. I've tried to pollinate these with the paintbrush there, and I'll just have to wait and see, because they don't seem to take straight away. So I'm just hoping that they do seed. As you can see, that the one's got a bit more shade than the others. This is just an old flower bud stem. So yeah, so one seems to grow. I've repotted these, when was it? The start of spring. Oh no, it was last year actually. I repotted these, and they don't like to be moved around a lot in their root systems, because they take a little while for them to kick back on, pick up. But yeah, very rare. I haven't really seen many people with these, and they just seem very hard to sort of come across. So over here I've got some juveniles. As you can see, they've come up and starting to grow. These three here come up about the same time. This one came a bit later. I wasn't sure. I had it in the pot and it come up, but it took a while. I think it took roughly around about, I don't know, maybe about 3 months for it to come up. The soil's very porous. It's got a bit of perlite, coarse river sand, a bit of volcanic rock, very well drained soil. But yeah, beautiful plant, very hard to come across. I'm looking forward to getting some more seeds of this, and I'm going to plant the seeds virtually straight away. So another plant of the Caudex form, and yeah, it's looking pretty happy, I can say, and a bit temperamental. Don't water it that much, maybe once a week in its growing season, but just be careful. You don't want it to get waterlogged or anything like that. You know, it's a hardy plant, and I suppose in the hothouse it's gonna dry out a lot quicker. And plus also I've got fans happening in the hothouse just to get the air circulating inside here, and they tend to dry out a lot faster. So you know, I tend to give them a bit of watering about once a week, and during the winter time I reduce that. You know, maybe I'll let it dry out, but I don't water it once a week, about say maybe once every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, because they're not really growing that much at that period of time. So yeah, like I said, I won't try to pronounce the name, as I'll butcher it, and it's no use me doing it. And I'll leave it the name down at the very bottom so you can actually see. But yeah, beautiful plants. It's a very slow grower, as you know about euphorbias. Some can be fast growers, but these ones here are very slow, and they come from Madagascar. Okay, I hope you liked that bit of a summary about this plant, which is unique, and I suppose anything with a Caudex is unique in that sense. So yeah, and another thing too, Merry Christmas to you all. Hope you have a lovely Christmas, and to you and your families, and stay safe, and all the best to the new year too. Okay, cheers, take care, and we'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.